Notts County Talk. We are back live on a Friday for episode 34 of the Pavis Perspective podcast. Thank you for joining us on a Friday. If you are with us for the next few weeks, it's going to have to be work commitments. Mean there's no way we can do it Thursday, but we will go back to our original slot in time. George, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. Recovered from Tuesday night, just
Yeah.
slightly. But yeah, all things considered, I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. What do you have for your tea?
What did I have for my tea tonight? I've not actually had it yet.
Really, Friday night tea, you know, it's got to be a good one. I had a little bit of a sort of a flatbread pizza, a few chips, bit of salad. Can't go wrong, can you? Can't
Lovely.
go wrong.
That's a proper Friday dinner, that, isn't it?
It is. It is. I won't be having that on a Thursday, Pavis Perspective.
Yeah, you couldn't do that on a Monday, could you?
You couldn't. Yeah, that's not a Monday tea. So, obviously, it's not been a good time for Notts. You know, 5 games now without a win. Some shockers in there. Solihull conceding late on. Chesterfield conceding too late on. Stockport obliterated. You know, Yeovil couldn't put away our chances. And Wrexham, you know, right at the death. Absolutely heartbreaking to go out of the FA Trophy. Some people might say that it's not heartbreaking, but there we go. But I'm feeling pretty upbeat, very upbeat for a few reasons. You know, Stockport fans have been chatting to us quite a lot. They've been saying that they feel like we're where they were last year or the year before, and I think to myself, they were a very good team, and I think good times will come for Notts. You know, I really do believe that. I think Colin Sissons, that's been on our podcast a few times, has said, he tweeted a few weeks ago, and I stood there in the away end at 3-0 Stockport away, and his tweet went through my head, and it was something like, when we finally do have good times, because I believe there'll be good times under these owners. Do you, George? I really do.
Yeah.
When we finally have good times, we're going to have earned it, and I believe that massively. So I just stood there and I thought that, and you know, it did make me feel a little bit better about that situation. And the second thing I'm pretty buzzing for is Harry Arter. We're going to go into that in a little bit. Very quickly before, you know, we'll go into it later, George. How are you feeling about that?
I don't really know. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's an amazing signing. You cannot moan at it. It's a fantastic signing. Surely he'll be like the highest paid player in non-league forever as well. I don't know exactly, but I've heard in the region of 25k a week. Now you're not gonna find many non-league players on that, are you?
It's a crazy signing. We'll talk on that a little bit later, but we'll do what we usually do, and we'll look back to the last game. Before we do that, have a look at today's question. It is, if Notts could sign just one more, so one more, that's it, quality player on loan, would you rather that player be a defender or a striker? We've got our votes in. We'll say that at the end of the show, what we think. You know, defenders were shipping goals, or a striker, we cannot really score. And if you saw Richardson's miss, I know he's not a striker, but, you know, we desperately need a striker in that situation. So we'll have a look at that. Get your votes in for the end of the show. Already loads of votes flooding in about that. I've just put mine in. So there we go. Driving up Stockport. Stopped off. You tweeted 3 points incoming. I knew it was a bad thing to tweet. I liked your optimism.
I didn't specify which team though, so I kind of got away with it. I think
we were battered.
We were battered. Yeah. Well and
truly,
absolutely
battered. Part of me thinks. Do you agree? Part of me thinks if Richardson had scored, they still would have won.
Yeah, without a doubt. Literally without a doubt. They were the best team we've faced. I know we've already played them this season, but they're a different team under Challoner. They're the best team we've faced since we've been relegated.
Do you reckon?
Without a doubt. Like, literally, even when we played we were weak inside. We had illness in the squad, but like, we sort of talked about it as well in the car. Like, you can see that they've got that mentality if they're going to go out there and win. Do you know what I mean? There's no way they're going to go out there and not win. And you can see that they have that, like, that confidence in them. Like, you look at their form, I think 8 of the last 18 games, they've won 17 and drawn 1.
Mm.
That is a joke. That is ridiculous form. And
you can dream of that in any league. Only dream of that.
Exactly, in any league. And this is a tough league. Like, there's some teams where you just go and for whatever reason you slip up, and Stockport just haven't done that. Mm. And it's actually incredible, really, to think where they are now. Because when we played them, I just thought the players these guys have, and they're just not performing. But then obviously, fast forward a few months, They absolutely battered us.
Yeah, and actually, I come on here sometimes and we've lost games, and we've given a little bit of stick to opposition. I don't really have any moans about Stockport. I thought their fans were good. If you saw the videos of the march before the game, the atmosphere that created inside the ground was pretty good. They were having a go at Notts fans for not creating much of an atmosphere. What have we got to cheer about at the minute? From minute one, it was all Stockport. We then miss an open goal, and I know it's only a minor thing. There's no roof on the away stand. That's there for a reason. There's no roof because it kills any atmosphere that might have been. But I thought, if they go up this season after seeing them play like that against Notts, I can't have anything to say. Like I don't really have a bad word to say. Their fans, maybe it's because they won. Their fans are absolutely sound, to be fair, that we spoke to, and yeah, I'd rather them do it than Wrexham catch them or Chesterfield, if I'm perfectly honest. So fair play to them. And that was the benchmark for the season, and we're way, way off it. And there is partly a reason for that. If players were being sick at half time, and the National League knew that was the severity of what happened, regardless, I personally don't think with a fully fit squad we would have got a win. We may have got a draw. How's the game not called off? Personally,
it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you just got to look at what's been going on the last couple of years. I mean, I don't think for an owner to swipe the squad like it was, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying this is true. I think it has to be COVID, surely. To have swiped the squad the way it has, like it seems like a large percentage of the squad have it. I mean, maybe I'm just plucking something out of thin air, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit dodgy. And then the league aren't allowing us to postpone a game where literally players are being physically sick. Did we do the right thing not recalling loans? It's difficult, isn't it? Really, it's really difficult because do you want to just go for it for that game, maybe 2 games, and then send them back out on loan and disturb the loan? Because you saw how disrupted that was earlier on in the season with Patterson. So it is difficult, and it was such a bad time to play Stockport. On the flip side of that, we played Chesterfield with a near enough a fully fit squad, and their weakened squad, and we still got beat. So there's benchmarks of when your squad's weak, and then there's benchmarks where your squad are fairly strong and facing a weakened side. In Chesterfield, obviously, I'm talking about there.
Yeah.
So,
well, my thought is, you're talking about COVID. If it's not COVID, even if it's not COVID, whatever it was contagious.
Mm-hmm.
If Notts had 2 players out with a knee injury, a couple with a back injury, some with an ankle injury, then if you can hear that, my cat is literally trying to get in the room. Wants to be on the podcast.
Let him in.
I'm not letting him in the room. He'll walk all over the laptop.
Give him his minute of fame.
I've been doing some work at home before, and he just walks all over the laptop and turns it off. So I apologise for that. It's very unprofessional. But
best essay you've ever written when he walks over the keyboard, I bet.
Yeah, I got a first for that. But genuinely, if it's contagious, then I don't see, like, what I was trying to get the point out before my cat tried to ruin the podcast, is that if it's injuries, don't postpone the game. If you're just unlucky with injuries, don't postpone the game. If it's a contagious thing, it clearly is. You're not going to randomly have this many players with an illness that is the same, right? I hope it hasn't. If Stockport players now coming down with illness, they're not going to be happy. But it's not on us. It's on the National League.
Exactly.
After like you said, after the time we've had, the last 2 years we've had, even if it's not COVID, something else that's contagious, just do the right thing. So that's what annoyed me. I'm not saying it would have changed the result. I'm not having a go at anyone else, but the National League even after they've heard Notts players being sick, they wouldn't postpone tomorrow's game. Now it looks like the strength of the squad is a lot better now.
Yeah.
But even at the point when we didn't know that was going to happen, the National League were just like, okay. So
poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's very, very poor. And I think the National League is a poor, poor league. With the size in the league, it cannot be this poor. Like, there's going to be a point where the sides in the league are very, very, very strong. You look at Scunthorpe down, possibly Oldham, Stevenage. The league's going to be too big to be messed about by the current leadership of it. So it's really, really poor, in my opinion. It is. One person that really came out of that with a lot of quality, and I hold my hands up. I said last week I'd have put Slocum in goal. Yaros was fantastic.
Yeah, best game for Notts that
By
I've
a
seen him
mile.
play by a mile. Literally, the first half could have been 4-0. Like, we got to be honest. I mean, Richardson misses his chances, but if you've seen the match stats, you see we were just flooded with shots, and he did really well. Yaros did really well. Kept us in it really as much as he could. There's only so much keeper can do it there.
Yeah, there is, and this is how good it was. We had fans from the opposition on our video, the vlog, and if you have watched the vlog, thank you for support because it's unbelievably, it's done so well. The vlog,
Yeah.
we were very honest in it about the game, but they were even the first thing they were saying was your keeper's fantastic. So there's some confidence there, and I hope in the midst of everything that went on, the illness and the loss, I hope he got. I'm sure he will have got credit from Birchnell and the rest of the players. I hope they just said, very, very well played, very well played.
Well, the player said sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, made your life so hard.
Time says it's Friday and the cat knows you shouldn't be in the paper's perspective. I know. He's literally synced to my timetable. He wakes me up at the same time to get food. He waits at the door at the same time. The cats know, don't they? And he's disgusted with me, Callum.
That's just what John's like, isn't it?
He's not called. He's definitely not called John. I wouldn't call him John.
Paul.
So there we go. That Stockport erased my memory. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I wasn't as confident as you. But there we go. Finished. Don't have to play them again this season. And I hope we have to play them again next season, though, because I think they're going up. That would mean we were there as well. It would. In a way, I feel relieved when... It's hard to explain. I feel relieved when these blips happen because it's going to come to an end soon. And you've sort of got your blip out of the way. Because Stockport will have a blip before the end of the season. They will because of the games they've got. If we're getting out of the way now, finish the season strongly, I'd be happy with that. And I am feeling really confident. And it's the man we're going to go on to now, the sign of Harry Arter that we briefly touched upon. You said to me earlier, I don't know if you said it on the video, I don't really listen to you too much, but you said you think it's possibly the best player that's played in the National League.
Yeah.
I agree. I genuinely agree. And it's not from not from a Notts perspective. If I saw a team like Wrexham, Chesterfield, Halifax sign Harry Arter, I'd be so jealous. I'd be so jealous. He comes in having played in October for Ireland. You know, he's been promoted to the Premier League. He's got so many Premier League games. Have you seen the picture of him after? I know Guardiola does everything for the cameras, but there's a video of Arter playing so well against Man City. Guardiola's like walking off, congratulating him. He's a good player. And I've watched him a fair few times just because you see more of the Championship and the Premier League on TV. He's exactly what we need. He'll leave a foot in when he shouldn't, and he'll get booked. He'll roll around on the floor, and we need that. He will feign an injury, and I hate to say we need that in the team. We need one person that's going to do that because you're not going to have Palmer doing that. You're not going to have Vincent rolling around. You might have Ruben giving it a bit, as he did. I think in the Halifax game we lost, where he was sort of rolling around for a card. I think he's exactly the kind of player we need.
Yeah, I agree. I think just looking at his interviews that he's done, he did a couple, didn't he, on the day he signed. Initially, it's like he's talking about the reason he's come is because of the style of play, and he's like sort of saying that he had offers from above, but he doesn't like the way that they play, so he sort of dropped down to non-league. The level's not important to him, stuff like that, which is all great, and it's great that essentially the way that we're playing and the way it's installed to play by the manager is attracting players like Harry Arter. Like, that's insane. But anyway, the way he talks and like the way he perceives questions, I know this is like more of a vocal thing, but he's just so assured of himself. Like, he really takes his time to answer the questions, and you can just tell that he's just so assured of who he is and what he's going to do. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like, and if he's like that in the game, which I know he is, like, he's a class player. I've watched him play a few times. I think it's going to be a very, very, very good signing. A ridiculous signing.
He's coming at a good time, I think, and it's sort of five games without a win. He's coming the day after we've lost and been absolutely battered. The squad are probably very low. Illness, you know, they've been turned over by Stockport very easily. Fans obviously discontent, not happy, and it's gonna have lifted the squad. Definitely, if you're stood and someone of Harry Arter's quality comes in, you're going to be lifted by that. And what a
Yeah.
time for him to come in as well.
Mhm.
What a time. I don't think he'll play tomorrow at all. I don't think he'll have anything to do with it. Curtis has said he was passing medal lane today and saw to himself. And he said hi first to Curtis, which is nice. My dad actually messaged me 2-3 o'clock, I think, and said he's just seen Arthur in West Bridgeford earlier today. It's quite late. I think the squad travel down, don't they? Fairly early that day. So today they would have travelled to Dagenham, I think, the way it usually goes. If I got that wrong, someone let me know. But if he's in West Bridgeford at sort of 2-3 o'clock, I very much doubt he's in the side, and he's not played a game for a long time either. So I think it might be too early. It might be too early.
If not, though, we'll probably see him on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player that, with his quality, you can probably get away with not being fully match sharp for the first couple of games. Because how else is he going to get match sharp? Do you know what I mean? He would have been training.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But I think he could come in. Does he just straight pair with Palmer for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does for me. And he said in his interview, didn't he, that he can play wherever he's asked to play. He can be box to box. He can sort of sit in front of the defence a bit further forward. Scores a few goals. Hasn't scored many for the last few years, but he got a fair few goals when he was at Bournemouth, which is encouraging because we need that extra sort of firepower from midfield. But
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm sort of making a link with him. I think he'll be very good for Cal. I do. I think he'll be very good for Cal. I think he'll sort of give him a little bit of confidence. And as much as he is a centre midfielder, I think he'll drag players away from our other players, like Ruben, like Cal. I think he will because, I'm just thinking, and no disrespect here, and I don't want this to blow up in my face, but we play Dover at home soon. We possibly play Dover at home with Harry Arter in midfield. Let's hope he's not injured or he's fit enough. We play with Harry Arter in midfield and Palmer as a centre mids, against the side that will already be relegated. Who knows what will happen to their players? So that could be really interesting. One thing I do want to say, and let me know what you think about this. A few people were saying we were, we were so lucky when we got David Vaughan, and look how that turned out from Forest, who was absolutely dreadful, in my opinion. I don't know about anyone else's. Do you think it'll be anything like that, or can you just not see that happening?
No,
apparently he wasn't very good for Charlton, Arter, but
yeah.
Do you see that?
No, not at all. I don't think we've got better standards now, haven't we?
Yeah.
As a club, our recruitment is a lot more, let's just say, professional than it used to be under previous ownership. Just pulling a name because it's a name, not because they can actually add something to your style and they enjoy. Like a lot of the players that come in, I mean, I know you've got to say the right things and they're all media trained and stuff like this, but you can tell when certain players mean it. And he's moved to Notts because of the style of play, and that's it, whereas Vaughan would say nothing like that. Do you know what I mean? It was just sort of probably for the money. So yeah, to me, it's very different.
Yeah, I personally think he'll be very good. And let us know if you're watching what you think about that as well. Again, the question for tonight: if we could sign one more player of quality on loan, one more player, would you rather be a defender or would you rather it be a striker? And we'll tell you what we think at the end. Votes are coming in already.
Thick and fast.
And it's quite split at the minute as to what you would prefer. So, yeah, that's going to be a very, very interesting one because I have mine firmly in my head who I would like Notts to get. Team news then. Have you watched Birchnell's presser?
I have.
Brindley back, Eli Sand back.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's good. It's only good, isn't it? I think he was talking about a few of the players that played on Tuesday are still feeling the effects, so won't be available for Saturday. I'm assuming at least one of those is going to be Lacey or Warrington. So Brindley getting back in is only more options for the centre-back department. But yeah, it's good. I think Eli being back, we missed him, I think, on Tuesday night. Because as much as we've said we were battered and stuff like that, when we really, it was sort of like got away from them and just went through that last line. We were away and that was it. And that was one place that they could have got at. I feel like it just suited Sam a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
They were pretty open, weren't they, Stockport?
At times they were, yeah. Like I think Sam would have got one. I think on Tuesday night if he was playing.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. But hindsight, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, Brindley back in. I think he's been missed more than we think.
Yeah.
I think Lacey and Warrenson have been all right as a pairing. I thought they were good against Solihull, even though we conceded 3. And if they're playing it ill against Stockport, what more can you really ask? No one really put in a great performance by Yaros. So, yeah, to have Brindley back's really good. Cameron, there was talk of Cameron a few games ago. Bertram said he's progressing really well, should be back for Bournemouth. That's now been pushed back to after the Bournemouth game, which Torquay possibly. Off the top of my head, not really 100% sure.
Southend.
Is it Southend? Big. That's quite a big loss. At this point I wouldn't rush him back. I think we'll have enough to get in the playoffs. Personally, with the running we've got, after Southend and Torquay, it then gets pretty favourable. So I would just ease him back in. I don't want him injured for a playoff run at all.
Yeah.
Definitely don't. Right, let's look at Dagenham then. Tricky side. They are a very tricky side.
Very tricky, yeah. More tricky than they have been in recent seasons, for sure.
Did you see them this high at this point in the season? I can't remember where you put them in your...
I can't either. I can't remember any of that stuff now.
I know you had Bournemouth up there, and you embarrassed me because I had Bournemouth near the bottom when they lost Shamanga, but there we go. So Notts played 32, 54 points. Dagenham played 32, 52 points, 2 points behind us. We've conceded 1 less goal than Dagenham, so pretty even, and we've only scored 2 more than Dagenham. Again, pretty even. It's going to be a tough game. If we look at the form, obviously Notts are in dreadful form. We've picked up 5 points out of a possible 15 in the league. Dagenham have got double that, so they're in much better form than Notts are. I don't really know how I see this going. I feel very confident, but I feel confident because we've been on a bad run, and I feel like those bad runs have to end, don't they? Or are you not feeling this is the one?
I don't know. It's a funny game to sort of bounce back from, I think, especially away from home. Things that concern me are things like our away form. I was actually reading this online, and I had to check this, and I'm 99% sure it's right. Wharton's last away goal was against Wrexham.
Yeah, that is correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not so long ago. It's not, no. It's weird that he doesn't score away from home. So things like that concern me. Obviously, away form, it's a funny old game to bounce back on. But, it's difficult to call. I think it depends who's back, who's 100%, things like this. There's a lot of components that can make this game go one way or the other. So, I'm hoping we can get back on track, really. Because we've got a difficult week coming up. We've got Bournemouth on Tuesday, and then on Saturday it's Chesterfield at home, isn't it?
Yeah. So
that is a ridiculously hard week. So we need to. Realistically, we kind of need to win this game because the 2 games following that are, I don't know, difficult to say the least.
Will somebody let me know in the comments? Let us know in the live chat if anyone picked up the free ticket for showing your season ticket and a lottery ticket. There was 500 free tickets. I don't know anyone that actually got one. So if you got one of those free tickets, let us know. Or have they not even started? They must have started to be given out. Must have.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
Let me know. They're probably gone now. I think there's only 500. Dagenham's last game in the league, 3-0 win at Southend. Very good result. The game before
they're on the up as well, aren't they, Southend?
Yeah, 3-0 win at Yeovil. Very good result. The game before that, 3-0 win at home to Maidenhead. Now, sandwiched in there is a 2-1 loss at home to York in the trophy, which is a poor result. But 3-0s in a row. This is a funny side. The game before that, they lost 3-0 to Altrincham. That's a crazy result. Losing 3-0 to Altrincham and then turning it around like that. They've got McCallum up front, who is a good player, isn't he? So you've got to watch out for him. But, they've won 3 on the spin in the league. Again, that's something that I quite like to come up against a team that's done that. We're in bad form, they're in good form. Let's try and turn it around. I look at the league table now. First place is gone? Yeah, agreed. Completely gone.
Yeah.
The odds on that must be like 5,000 to 1 for Notts to get promoted. That's not happening. No.
It's probably more likely for Chickson to get a hat-trick.
It probably is, and Callum will probably back us up on that. Do you think third place is now gone? Halifax are sat in third on 63 points with a game in hand. They're 9 points ahead with a game in hand. Is second and third gone? For me, yeah, it's gone.
I don't know. I think it's difficult. It's difficult, isn't it? It's hard to call. Like, it's so. I don't know. This league's just crazy.
63.9 points ahead with a game in hand. Could be 12. Wrexham are 7 ahead with a game in hand. They're probably going to make that 10. Bournemouth could even stretch it further. So second and third was our target. That has now almost gone. It's going to be a 4th, 5th, 6th or 7th place. And we've got to get 4th or 5th. Because if I remember rightly, Chesterfield last season we were finished 4th or 5th, so we got the home tie in the quarterfinals, didn't we? Look at the difference that made. I know they had no fans in that day. It was just Notts fans spread out, which made the atmosphere really good. Spread out. If finish 6th or 7th is you've got to win an away tie, and then Wembley against probably, and if it's a Stockport slip up, you've got to win at Wembley against Stockport, Chesterfield, Wrexham, pretty much.
It's not favourable for us, is it, winning away games?
2 away games with the away form we've got. I mean, if we don't get that second or third place, we've at least got 1 away game. So ideally, we need what happened in our first season when we played Barnet, who were pretty poor. So, yeah, Mark says second and third will be Wrexham and Chesterfield. Mark thinks we'll finish 6th. In that case, Mark, if you think we'll finish 6th, we would have an away game. Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see how the squad go. Harry Arter's come in. Will that help us? I'm not 100% sure if it will help our away form. You'd like to think it would, but one man is not going to change the whole team. I think it will help us attacking wise, definitely. I think it will. So let's go on to our team then. What are we thinking? Formation. Do we stay 5, which worked against Wrexham for most of the game, but we couldn't take our chances? Or would you go 4?
Difficult one for me, this, because I think that Lacey and Rawlinson are suffering.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to be fit for the game tomorrow.
Either of them.
I think both of them will probably be struggling, but I'm sure one of them might be forced in. I don't really know, but then you're looking at your options. It's very limiting with Cameron out as well.
If they're both out, it's Brindley, Chicks and centre back, is it not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you've got to hope at least one of them.
Favourable. That's really not favourable.
No.
What are the centre back?
Yeah, I think I'd go 4 at the back. You know.
Go on then. 4 at the back.
Richardson, Brindley, either Lacey or Rawlinson, whichever. Let's just say they're both okay. I'd probably go Lacey. And then left back, Chickson.
Yaros in goal, obviously.
Yeah. Goes without saying after the Tuesday's performance.
I go Yaros in goal, Richardson at right back. Either Rawlinson or Lacey. Like you say, we don't know which one's going to be fit. And then Brindley. Really good to have him back, bit of athleticism. And then at left back, I'm not going to put Chicks in him.
Why?
I thought he was really poor on Tuesday. The whole team were poor. I thought he was really, really poor. And I don't mean this with the greatest disrespect. It's not just the Chickson. But I looked at some of the squad and I thought this squad are a good squad. But not one player, realistically, not one player would have got in the Stockport side for me. Probably Yaros, but I don't know what their keeper's like. He didn't have to touch the ball. He was sat on a sun lounger for half the game, watching the planes go over. Good that was, wasn't it? He was spotting the planes.
Yeah, plenty of planes going into Manchester Airport.
And I looked at the squad and I thought this is a really solid squad if you're looking for playoffs. Do you know what I mean? I might be doing them disservice because of how poor we played. And I just thought, I looked at Chicks and I thought, really good, love him. Really started to come on. But can you win the league with someone like Chickson? Can you get second or third place? I think some of the players are too nice. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. But...
Again, for me, Dion Kelly Evans. Can you win a league with Dion Kelly Evans? Can you get promoted with Dion Kelly Evans? You know,
I think you can,
fair play. That's the question.
because I think it comes back to everything that we have had going for us this season. The way we play is immense. We just can't score. If
But
we
it's
had a
not.
finish,
I disagree.
if we had a finisher in our team, we'd be right up there. Like the amount of games that we've left this season thinking, how did someone not score, or how did he not score that in that position? Like so many times. Like these games we've dominated and we've got nothing from. It's just strange. Wrexham for me being one of those games, we dominated a large percentage of the game, played
Which
some
one?
really nice
The
football.
trophy.
Yeah. And just not got anything from it. And it's
Fair
like
enough.
we said it in the video. It's the story of the season. I think that the fullbacks we have are good. I think Chickson, given we had a striker that could freely score and get 20 to 30 goals a season, you wouldn't even be questioning it.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going Joel Taylor at left back. I need to see more of him. I don't know why we're not seeing more. Look, I love Chickson. And do you know what's really come on is his crossing. Really has. But he's played a lot of games, and he's either going to be centre back. You're going to have two very small centre backs defending crosses, but I don't think Dagenham are the biggest side, so it's not like we're playing someone, a massive team. But I would go. I'd go Taylor. I want to see a bit more Joel Taylor. Midfield then. For me, Vincent and Palmer. Again, I thought Francis was poor.
Yeah, he was. He really was in that first half, especially. But yeah, no, I'd agree with you, Vincent and Palmer.
And then the three behind, who is probably going to be Kyle Wootton. Who would you go? On the
Eli,
right?
Ruben, Cal.
Right, Cal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that side. I don't think we'll see Arter. If we do, probably off the bench. If he's starting, then I trust that he's fit enough to start, and that would be fantastic. I'd quite like to see him save for a home game in front of Notts fans. Really make sure he's ready. So that would be my choice. Right, we are going to go for our question, George, and you are the question master of this channel. We're still looking for our star viewer of the episode. So we're on the hunt for you. And also, we're going to do our score predictions. But first, go to the question. Interesting.
If Notts could sign just one more quality player on loan, would you like a defender or a striker? 26% say defender. So that's a quarter of the people. 74% say striker.
What are you going with?
Striker.
You voted in the striker camp. Explain. You just sort of explained.
We need to score goals. That's literally it. We need to just put our chances away.
I went defender. Because if we had a very good defender, class defender, star viewer Thomas is cat. Callum star viewer straight away. Done and dusted. I went defender because we scored 3 against Solihull and still didn't win. If we have a class defender and we don't concede, we just need one to win. We can score. We've scored in the past 20-something home games in a row. We scored in most away games apart from Stockport and Wealdstone. Stockport have conceded 5 at home since December, or 5 at all since December, or something stupid like that. So I would personally go defender. If you had an absolutely class, reliable, not injury-prone centre-back to go alongside Cameron, one that even if he can't play out really well, puts his whole body on the line, gets it away, is calm, knows how to...
Mark Ellis.
No, not like Mark Ellis. Mark Ellis wasn't a great defender. He was great at putting his body on the line in the opposition box, in my opinion.
You don't think Mark Ellis was a great defender?
He didn't do anything. He didn't. Mark Ellis.
What?
He was not. No way.
Deary me.
Mark Ellis, when he came in, did nothing to the defensive record. Mark Ellis scored the winner in the Chesterfield playoff game, but Mark Ellis was not just him. Mark Ellis was in the same defence that gave Nathan Tyson a 1-on-1 and tried to play an offside trap against someone that was faster than him. Mark Ellis did not improve that defence. I'll stand here and I'll take the pelters, but he didn't improve that defence. He was fantastic in the opposition box. Didn't score against Notts the other week, but in my opinion, I would have. If you got a centre back, we could loan someone in, even a little bit less quality than Arter, someone like that. Ryan, Ellis when he scored goals rather than make tackles. To be fair, Ryan, straight with me on that one. So I went defender, but I can see reasons for both. If we loaned in one more player and it was a class striker or a class defender, I think it would be really good. I'd be happy with either. So score predictions then. Start to get your score predictions in. We'll put some of those up on the screen. I'll get my prediction in first because you went first last week, George. I am feeling confident. I think even if he's not there, he'll be in and around the squad. Hopefully, Harry Arter, whether he's not travelled today, I don't know. Whether he has, in and around the squad. Even if he's not, he'll avoid the side. They'll be feeling a lot better. The fitness is there. Birchnell looked a lot happier, I noticed today. Did you? In his recent post or pre-matches, but he seemed a bit down. Today he seemed a lot happier with a good side, like a good number of players training. We had the most informed goal scorer in Eli Sam back. So for me, I'm going to go for Dagenham Redbridge 1 because I think we'll concede a goal and Notts 3. 3-1. And I think we'll see Eli Sam bag 1. I don't think he'll play the full game. And then I'm going for Eli Sam 1. Kyle wanting to get one away because you slated him.
Needs it.
And then Kyle Roberts 3-1 Notts. And the season will be back on track and we'll all be singing.
I'm going 1-1. And I'm going to get Kyra Mitchell off the bench.
Go on, tell me your real one.
That's it.
Hey?
That's genuinely it.
My headphones are bright. You said 1-1 who?
Kyra Mitchell.
He looked okay when he came on. He had Notts' only shot on target of the game, didn't he? Against
there you go. Yeah, it's coming.
Fair enough. 1-1 Kyra Mitchell. Would you see that as a good result?
I suppose so. It's not great, is it? It's just okay, I think.
Yeah, it's an okay result. Let's see. Callum goes 4-1, Chickson, hat-trick and Wootton. Chickson's not playing, Callum. So, don't know if he'll get a hat-trick off the bench. Jack, 2-1 Notts. Mum 2 Notts 4, sister 2, Dagenham Redbridge 0. Fair enough. I thought for a second that took me a bit of time to process that Notts aren't playing against your mum, but that's what your mum said. I was absolutely gobsmacked and I was thinking, how's your mum scored 2 against 11 players? And your sister's playing as well. Honestly, Friday, I'm not with it, Mark says 1-1 Vincent's get the goal. Ellie says 2-0 Roberts and Sam. Jane says, anyone see Wootton in the training video today? I'm not sure. I haven't quite seen it.
No, I'm not seeing it either.
So not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. We will have tomorrow our reaction video. Either myself or George will react to the game. We can't be there tomorrow, unfortunately. We made quite a few of the last away games. Can't be at that one. And then we will have a Pavis perspective on Sunday night ahead of the Bournemouth game. Hopefully we're talking about a victory. Hopefully we're looking back on track. Hopefully we're talking about seeing Harry Arter play on Tuesday night. Because if we get this win and we play Bournemouth are on a little bit of a slide at the minute. They're not really. Maybe the games have caught up with them. Maybe they're feeling the effects of the FA Cup, Could be a very big game. And in 2 games' time, depending on tomorrow, we could be looking pretty good, couldn't we, George?
We could.
We could also be absolutely shocking. So, there we go.
That's football.
That's football. Feeling gutted on Wednesday afternoon, Harry Arter signs feeling fantastic. Yeah. Also, we are nearing that 2,000 subscribe mark. If you could even share our channel or even subscribe, even like the video because it pushes us out there.
Or get your mum and sister to subscribe.
After they've scored 2 against Notts. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be great.
But we're trying to get that for the end of the season. Hopefully, we're going to be having a good time in the playoffs at the end of the season if we get there. Really appreciate everyone for joining us on a Friday night. We'll be back on Sunday. And as always, if you're traveling to the game, please have a safe journey and bring back 3 points.